This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa bagong Pilipinas.
Napakasakit na sa akin. Pero kung wala ho kayo dito, huwag niyong questionin yung mga nangyari sa mga nandito.
Our grief as senators is valid, but our mandate requires action. Salamat po ng marami.
Tonight's top stories. Malacanang says Supreme Court's decision rejecting Senator Bato de la Rosa's petition for a temporary restraining order affirms the validity of the arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court.
The House of Representatives approved on second reading the Anti-Political Dynasty Bill. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. vows continued support for local government units to further improve the delivery of public services to Filipinos.
And in news abroad, Iran warns to spread war beyond the region if the United States attacks anew. All these and more, here on 13 News. Good evening, I'm Angela C. We're bringing you the day's top stories that shape the country, straightforward, clear, and concise.
I'm Greg Gregorio, under one flag with three mandates to inform, explain, and empower the nation. This is 13 News. First on our rundown tonight, the proposed anti-political dynasty bill has been approved on second reading at the House of Representatives.
The measure is among the priority bills of the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The bill seeks to prohibit members of the same family from simultaneously holding or succeeding one another in elected government positions.
The House also approved tonight on second reading the Kalinga Act, or the Komprehensibong Alalay sa Livelihood, Inflation, Negosyo at Goods Assistance Act. This aims to provide short and long-term aid to the public amid increasing oil prices brought by the Middle East tension. The bills will next undergo further deliberations and possible amendments in the House before being put to a final vote on third and final reading.
The House prosecution panel is in full preparation mode for the upcoming impeachment trial, with officials saying their strategy to secure a conviction against the vice president is now in place.
Prosecutors are also preparing for possible legal challenges, including renewed questions on the Senate's jurisdiction over the case. The team is expected to object if the Senate allows online or remote voting for senator judges in the upcoming impeachment trial. Right now, the Vice President's camp is currently working within a 10-day deadline to respond to the writ of summons issued by the Senate Impeachment Court. Once the response is submitted, the prosecution panel is set to file its reply, clearing the way for the start of pre-trial proceedings.
The trial itself is expected to begin in the second or third week of June, according to prosecution estimates. Meanwhile, veteran litigator Lorna Kapunan has been named as one of the voluntary private prosecutors joining the House team. House trial spokesperson Zia Alonto Adyong said the prosecution remains ready despite the challenges ahead.
Ito po yung huling pagkakataon para sa ating pong pangalawang Pangulo na makapagbigay po ng formal na sagot sa lahat po ng mga akusasyon sa kanya sa ilalim po ng articles of impeachment.
It's a challenging job, but we are also ambitious to challenges. Our source of inspiration is constitution.
Malacanang says the Supreme Court's decision to reject the petition of Senator Bato de la Rosa affirms the validity of the ICC warrant of arrest. Meanwhile, CCTV footage showed Senators Robin Padilla and De La Rosa leaving the Senate together in the early hours of May 14 after the Senate shooting incident. IBC News correspondent Patrick Gupo tells us more.
CCTV footage taken past 2:30 in the morning on May 14 showed Senator Robin Padilla leaving the Senate premises. In another video from the parking lot, Senator Padilla was seen with Senator Bato de la Rosa and the woman. Moments later, the three boarded Senator Padilla's white SUV. According to DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla, the group left the Senate compound unimpeded at around 2:32 a.m., heading toward the Makati area. The woman was believed to be an assistant accompanying the two senators. When asked about the incident, Senator Padilla gave only a brief response.
Hindi naman AI yun, di ba? Maraming salamat sa inyo. Nakuha nyo na yung gusto ninyo. Napanood nyo na. Palagay ko naman siguro matatahimik na kayo.
The CCTV footage was already shown to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and according to the palace,
kung ikukonsidera ito na pagtakas at pag-alis, hindi po natin ito didesisyonan o bibigyan ng judgment. Pero sa paningin po ng Pangulo ay hindi po ito dapat nararapat. Tanungin po natin bakit ito napayagan na Senado.
Earlier, the Supreme Court denied the petition filed by Senator De La Rosa seeking a temporary restraining order against the enforcement of the arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court or ICC against him. In a 9-5-1 vote, the High Court rejected De La Rosa's request to stop government agencies and law enforcement authorities from carrying out any arrest based on the ICC warrant. The Supreme Court clarified, however, that the ruling only covered the request for interim relief and did not yet resolve the main legal issues. For its part, Malacanang said the decision further affirmed the validity of the ICC arrest warrant.
Sa ngayon, masasabi po natin na ang warrant of arrest ay valid laban dito kay Senator Bato de la Rosa. At ang lahat ng maaaring interpretasyon at evaluation na sabing resolution ng Supreme Court ay ibabato po natin kay Secretary Frederick Bida.
The National Bureau of Investigation is now on alert for a possible manhunt operation, although NBI Director Melvin Matibag said he has yet to fully review the Supreme Court's decision.
I have to see that they are offers. Pero sir, lalakad ba yung
I don't want to speculate.
I don't want to speculate.
The NBI earlier disclosed that it already has leads on the possible whereabouts of De La Rosa. Meanwhile, some fellow senators of De La Rosa have mixed reactions on the SC decision.
Siyempre, malungkot yun. Wala naman tayo pwedeng maging reaction. Malungkot tayo.
That is correct. Dahil dyan sa decision ng Supreme Court, it just simply means na binibigyan ng kapangyarihan ng executive branch para ipa-implement yung arrest warrant from the ICC para kay Bato.
Kung walang TRO, klaro na ang enforcement agencies may basis na sila to arrest him. At yan naman ang inaantay ng lahat, no? Maglalabas ng TRO ang Supreme Court or not. So, nandyan na tayo ngayon. No? At I'm sure the enforcement agencies are taking notice of this.
Has a lot of legal remedies left. It's up to his lawyers.
Patrick Gupo, IBC News.
Tension rose at the Senate plenary today following discussions on the shooting incident inside the chamber last week. Senator Risa Hontiveros expressed concern over how it seemed nothing had happened, but Senator Pia Cayetano pushed back on the statement. Daniel Manalastas reports.
A reshuffle of key Senate committees pushed through as lawmakers resumed session today. Senator Pia Cayetano was named the new chairperson of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Senator Amy Marcos took over the Committee on Foreign Relations, while Senator Robin Padilla was appointed chairperson of the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments. The Senate session ended without any leadership change on the Senate presidency, despite earlier rumors of a possible shakeup. But emotions ran high on the Senate plenary following discussions about the shooting incident that occurred inside the Senate last week. Senator Risa Hontiveros expressed concern, saying she was disturbed by how it seemed as though nothing had happened after the shooting. But Senator Pia Cayetano pushed back.
Napakasakit nun sa akin. Pagtingin ko ng group natin, yung dating majority group, walang ni isa sa inyong nangamusta sa amin. Some of you I've known for 20 years, 10 years, and I didn't even hear any of you say, "Kamusta na kayo dyan?" Napakasakit nun sa akin. Sobrang sakit. So yun ang masasabi ko. Yes, I am very ready to share my story, to ask questions. Pero kung wala ho kayo dito, huwag niyong questionin yung mga nangyari sa mga nandito.
Senator Hontiveros later clarified that she empathized with those affected.
When I stated that it feels now as though walang nangyari, I was not speaking about our personal feelings. I was speaking about our institutional posture.
Thank you for that.
Our grief as senators is valid, but our mandate requires action. Salamat po ng marami.
Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Tito Soto proposed discussing the incident further through a Senate Committee of the Whole hearing. Daniel Manalastas, IBC News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered the fast tracking of flood mitigation projects under the Oplan Contra Baha program. Earlier today, he inspected a drainage improvement project in Quezon City that significantly reduces flooding duration in the area. More details now from IBC News correspondent Harley Valbuena.
Several parts of Metro Manila experienced flooding again in recent days due to heavy rains. In response, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. immediately ordered the timely completion of flood mitigation projects under the Oplan Contra Baha program. Earlier today, the President inspected the drainage improvement project at G. Araneta Avenue in Quezon City, one of the most prone areas in Metro Manila. The project includes two 1.5-meter diameter, high-density polyethylene pipes designed to collect floodwater and discharge it into the San Juan River. Clearing and dredging operations were also carried out along the river, while a pumping station is set to be constructed under the improvement project. Capacity has increased at 10.18 cubic meters per second. 1 cubic meters per second. Flood water subside more quickly now, from 19 hours down to just around 3 hours. The project is likewise expected to help maintain normal traffic flow along G. Araneta Avenue and nearby streets.
This is one of the areas that are critical, kaya ito nandito tayo. But it is not the only area that we are doing this kind of interventions to make sure that we find a way to bring the water na ilabas ang tubig at para naman hindi na masyadong mabaha.
Residents living near G. Araneta Avenue were elated as their long-recurring problem on floods will now be resolved.
Minsan nahihirapan ko kami, minsan nagkaka-vlog at ganyan. Matataas yung hindi ka na makapasok eh. Gumanda sana yung gagawin nila dyan sa project na yan.
Sana naman po masolusyonan na. Sana maging successful ang gawa nila.
The drainage improvement project is scheduled for completion by the end of the month. President Marcos Jr. meanwhile assured that flood control projects in other areas will also be improved in preparation for the rainy season. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
President Marcos Jr. also assures the continued rollout of reforms aimed at strengthening the capacity of local governments amid administrative, financial, and technical challenges. The president made this statement during the oath-taking ceremony at Malacanang for the newly elected national officers of the Provincial Board Members League of the Philippines. According to the president, key initiatives under his administration include the ELGU system, the Bawat Bayan Makikinabang program, and the fast-tracking of projects in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. He said these efforts are expected to further improve the delivery of public services in communities nationwide.
To identify the most needy in each community, we need you. We should now view the national government and the local government as working together as one.
When we return, 12 stations of the new MRT-7 are seen to be operational next year. Stay tuned. This is 13 News.
Flavors worth craving. Stories made to inspire. Restaurant every Friday at 4 p.m. on IBC 13.
The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, said that 12 out of 14 stations of the MRT-7 are expected to be operational by the first half of 2027. During a House Committee hearing on infrastructure projects, DOTR Undersecretary Timothy John Batan said the railway will run from the common station along North Avenue to the depot along Quirino Highway. The DOTR assures that the MRT-7 project will be fully completed before President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ends his term in 2028.
Newly appointed Budget Secretary Kim Robert De Leon said he would not allow anomalies linked to flood control projects to happen again under his leadership. He pledged to crack down on budget abuse and strengthen transparency in government spending. Secretary De Leon made the statement during the Open Budget Survey 2025 Results Forum in Manila, where he served as the keynote speaker. The budget chief also promised to push for a more transparent and people-centered public service to ensure that government funds directly benefit Filipinos.
Meanwhile, complaints have been filed before the National Police Commission, or NAPOLCOM, revealing an alleged bribery attempt for the families of the missing Sabongeros to stop attending the hearings. 2 police officers were also allegedly arranging a settlement in the case. IBC News correspondent Eliza Insigne has the report.
Families of the victims in the case of the 34 cockfight enthusiasts were allegedly bribed 40,000 pesos per month in exchange for withdrawing from court hearings. Emotional family members told the National Police Commission, or NAPOLCOM, that a certain person, identified as attorney Caroline Cruz, allegedly attempted to settle the case by offering each complainant 20,000 pesos every 15th and 30th of the month.
Pinipilit niyang bayaran, pero kami po wala. Hindi po kami magpapabayad. Hindi may pagpapalit ang buhay ng anak ko.
One complainant also claimed they were secretly brought to Camp Krames custodial facility to meet with accused police officers. During that meeting, the officers allegedly insisted they were not guilty and denied knowing Julie Patidongan, also known as Totoy or Dondon, key witness in the case. The camp of Charlie Atong-Ang, the alleged mastermind in the disappearance of cockfight enthusiasts, reportedly tried to reverse the case and pin the blame on Dondon. Complainants further revealed that families who agreed to the bribery arrangement were promised 1 million pesos if they could convince another complainant to withdraw from the case. More than 18 complainants have reportedly received money from Attorney Cruz. Police Colonel Marlon Santos vowed that both the police officers and the lawyer involved in the attempted settlement would be held accountable. Eliza Insigne, IBC News.
Three low-pressure areas are expected to form over the Pacific Ocean during the last week of May, according to Pag-asa. The formation may occur between May 25 and May 31, with one developing within the Philippine area of responsibility. But the weather disturbances are unlikely to intensify into a tropical cyclone. In the meantime, easterlies will continue to affect Luzon and the Visayas region, bringing partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Meanwhile, Mindanao will also experience isolated rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. Good news for GSIS members. You can now switch to solar energy through the Solar Energy Loan of the government. Members may borrow around 500,000 pesos at only 5% annual interest rate, payable for up to 5 years. The loan covers both the purchase and installation of the panels. The initiative is part of the administration's efforts to help Filipino households amid rising energy costs and rotational brownouts. Earlier today, solar energy companies gathered in Pasay City to push for more climate change adaptive communities.
one of the wisest investments that a Filipino household can have. Ito, ang ininvestan natin is power, which is a basic necessity of every household. So power ito, kailangan natin whether we like it or not.
When we come back, deadly floods hit southern China. Don't go away. This is 13 News.
Balitang nakalat.
Mamulat ng kanyang mga si Presidente at si
Binantayan. Sinuri. Nilatag at inihayag. 13 sa tanghali. Kasama sina Greg Gregorio, Naj Miravalles at Zai Chua. 13 sa tanghali sa ganap na alauna dito sa IBC 13.
In news abroad, Iran warned to extend war beyond the Middle East if the United States attacks anew. The Islamic Revolutionary Guards threatened widespread conflict after U.S. President Donald Trump said he is setting up new military operations. Trump said he is only pausing the attacks to give more time for diplomacy. The two sides earlier engaged in a 6-week negotiation brokered by Pakistan with no breakthroughs. Chinese leader Xi Jinping hosted another high-profile summit in Beijing, this time with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. The two world leaders are expected to deepen strategic ties with new deals and partnerships on the table. This and other developments across the globe from Holy Bakay's report.
Heavy rain has caused severe flooding and landslides across southern China. At least 21 people have died. Rescue operations continue as several affected areas remain submerged in flood waters. In California, more than 17,000 people are now under evacuation orders as a massive wildfire rapidly spreads. The blaze has already consumed about 1,698 acres just 2 days after the fire started. Nearly 900 firefighters have been deployed to the area as the flames threaten nearby residences. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in Beijing, China with a grand welcome. This just days after U.S. President Donald Trump's visit. China's leader Xi Jinping highly praised China-Russia relations over the years, saying they are now at their highest level of strategic partnership. The two longtime allies are expected to renew plans to build a natural gas pipeline in Beijing and finalize a deal on uninterrupted Russian oil and gas supplies. Both leaders are also expected to discuss geopolitical issues, including the war in Ukraine and Iran-US tensions. Meanwhile, NASA's Psyche spacecraft captured a rare view of Mars Crescent after successfully performing a flyby of the red planet. The maneuver is part of NASA's preparations for future human missions to Mars. Holy Bakay, IBC News.
After capturing their 2026 Premier Volleyball League or PVL Championship, the Creamline Cool Smashers maintains their gold standard by winning the Team of the Year award. This is the team's second consecutive time earning the recognition with a total of over 10 points, beating PLDT high-speed hitters and the Signal Super Spikers. The Cool Smashers remain its commitment to keep their championship tradition alive as they welcome their new member for the next league season. Meanwhile, here are the results of the 9 p.m. draws from the PCSO. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 16, 45, 11, 32, 23, and 37 with a jackpot prize of 18,546,872 pesos and 34 centavos. For the Grand Lotto 655, the winning combination is 41, 8, 45, 27, 9, and 10 with a jackpot prize of 115,358,791 pesos and 87 centavos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 7, 3, 0, and 8. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 8, 9, and 9. And for the 2D draw, the winning numbers are 24 and 27. There is no winner for the Grand Lotto 655, while no winner for the Mega Lotto 645. Tomorrow, the Philippine National AIDS Council will lead the International AIDS Candlelight Memorial at Skydome San Lazaro Hospital in Manila. This aims to pay tribute to the courage and sacrifices of people who are living with HIV and AIDS and for those who have lost the battle. The meaningful gathering also reaffirms its shared commitment in fighting the stigma against HIV and AIDS.
Also tomorrow, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, encourages everyone to join the nationwide underwater cleanup. The underwater cleanup drive will be mobilizing across 14 sites nationwide, including Anilao, Coron, Sarangani Bay, and Siargao. Aspiring volunteers will be known as Scuba Sorero, and they will clear deadly ghost nets from our reefs. I think it's really important also that the ghost nets are cleared because they can trap millions of marine life, and they're non-biodegradable.
And aside from that initiative, I think we should also join the candlelight ceremony. That will happen tomorrow as the HIV cases in the Philippines is still steadily rising. So I guess we all have to take part in the efforts to bring solution against HIV spread.
Agreed. And those were the latest from the IBC Newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and bring you updates as they develop. I'm Greg Gregorio.
And I'm Angela C. This is 13 News. Good night, everyone.